Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm back with practice session on Black-Scholes model for option pricing. If you remember, in my yesterday's class, I had given a detailed presentation on a PowerPoint presentation on the calculation of option premium using BS model, that is Black-Scholes model. Let me give a brief recap of the steps which we have learned for calculating premium of the option, and then we will take one or two practices. And one more interesting thing I'll show you today, that is using the online utility to verify your answer. But sometimes what happens, you calculate your premium using the method, some calculation error might be there, you might or might not be confident about your answer. So what you can do, you can check the answer on the given utility which I'll be showing you subsequently. So first let us take up how this model works. Basic assumptions of this model, if you remember in yesterday's class I discussed, the call option for which value is being calculated is of European style. So first of all, look at the fact, whatever option is given to you, whether call option or put option, calculate the premium as such, it is assuming that it is a call option. Then whatever premium of call option we get it, we can convert that into premium of put option using put call parity. So first step is there, assume that as if it is a call option and of European style. The price of underlying share changes continuously. That is the second assumption. The share price has a log normal distribution. Third assumption or third premises of this formula. Transaction costs and taxes do not exist. And the fifth premises is that no restriction on short selling. That means the seller of the option can create a hedge portfolio or zero cash flow portfolio by entering into short selling. Funds can be borrowed at risk-free rate of return to create a risk-neutral portfolio. So zero cash flow portfolio is also called as risk-neutral portfolio. And during the time period to maturity of the call option or put option, dividend is not declared by the company. So these are the basic 7 premises of this BS model. However, in practical life, we can liberate the premise number 7, dividend is not declared. If suppose dividend gets declared, so what you can do, you can adjust the spot price for the dividend to be declared. So that assumption is liberated. Similarly, assumption regarding risk-free rate. You might be having a question in your mind that why should I use risk-free rate? Because at risk-free rate, none of the business will operate. So what you can do, you can put the actual expected rate of return of the seller of the option or actual cost of capital. Then also the fundamental will work. So idea is the point number 6 and 7 can be done away with. Now, what are the steps I had discussed in the previous class? Let me give a quick recap so that we can start further. The step number 1, calculate D1. D1 is equal to hedge ratio under BS model. Hedge ratio definition, you know it very well, that seller of the option can create a risk neutral portfolio by taking equal to hedge ratio proportion of the quantity sold for call option as long position. Let us say hedge ratio is 0.6. What is the implication of this? That if a person has sold call option for 100 shares, that means he should take a long position equal to 0.6 proportion of the 100 shares. That is 60 shares on the underlying stock at the prevailing spot price. This action combined with selling of the call option will result into risk neutral risk neutral portfolio or zero cash flow portfolio. So that is the way it works. So how D1 is calculated? This log normal, I'll keep on highlighting. Calculate, this is the first one. Calculate log normal of S0 upon E. S0 is the spot price and E is the exercise price. Then second part of the formula which I'm going to highlight with another color so that you don't have any difficulty. So yellow is the first color, then red is the second color, and third is the blue color. I'll be taking up the blue color. So steps will be like this. First, solve the answer for log normal equal to S0 upon E. So S0 divided by E, you will get some value. For that value, find out the log normal. Then solve the second part, which is shown in red. Sigma square is the volatility of the returns from underlying stock. Standard deviation, as we know in SAPM, you have learned about that. Sigma square multiplied with 0.5, that is half of that we are taking, plus R. R is the risk-free rate. Then last part is multiplied with T. So let me take the another color for that, because that color is not visible exactly on the board. So let us keep it no color. So last part will be that color. Then whatever is the answer for this, that has to be divided by this part, which I'm highlighting with green. Root of T, T is the time duration in year. If it is 6 months, 0.5, 3 months, 0.25, 1 year will be 1, or 12 months will be 1, multiplied with sigma. So in between, for clarity, those who have difficulty in interpreting this, sigma multiplied with root T. Ln is log normal. S0 is the spot price of underlying share. E is the exercise price for the option. Precisely, we will be doing first for the call option. R is the risk-free rate. Sigma is the standard deviation of return of the underlying share representing risk. T is the time period till expiration in years. That means 6 months will be equal to 0.5. This is the formula I have given as a recap. Step 2, calculate D2. D2 is simple. Whatever is the answer for D1, from that we are deducting result of sigma root RT. So what we'll be doing, sigma is there with us, we'll take root of T multiplied with sigma. That will be step second. So you have the answer for D1, you have the answer for D2. We take the third step. I hope it's very easy. Estimation of value of cumulative normal density function from the table showing area under normal curve as used in normal distribution table for D1 and D2. The values so calculated are referred as ND1 and ND2. So ND1 is the area under normal curve for cumulative distribution table, and D2 is the area under normal curve for cumulative normal distribution table in the cumulative normal distribution table for value D2. So that's what we have to look for, these values in the cumulative normal. So let us move further. So we had completed till finding out the area under normal curve for cumulative normal distribution table. When I actually solve the numerical, I'll tell you how to read the table. Step 4, application of formula to calculate the value or price of call option. This is C0 is equal to S0 times ND1 minus E. E is the exercise price times exponent function raised to the power of minus RT. R is the risk-free rate, T is the time duration, further multiplied by ND2. So that is the formula for calculating premium for call option. C0 is the premium of call option. You can use the value of E also if you are not using scientific calculator, simple calculator or some other mechanism, or you can use the E table also. The price so calculated is called as equilibrium price, and it is expected to be maintained because of the arbitrage process. It is the arbitrage process which forces it to be maintained in future. And then by applying the fundamental of put call parity, we can calculate the premium of put also. And put call parity fundamental will be like this. Value or premium of put is equal to P0 is premium of put. Rest of the parameters are explained you earlier. Now let us take an example how to solve it. Then I will verify the same thing using online utility. Let us say spot price of a share of X company is rupees 25 with an exercise price of rupees 10 with time to expiration 6 months. So in a year term it will be 0.5 year. Risk-free rate 10% I have taken, and standard deviation of the return of share is 60%. That is sigma is 60% or 0.6. Calculate premium of call option. Now if I put the formula side by side for your convenience, so let me pick the formula from the previous tab. First, we will take the D1. So D1 is simply calculation of D1. So that is D1. We have formula. For your convenience, I have brought the formula here. You can see this is the formula for D1. So we have taken, by plugging in the values, we get it. We have been given spot price is 10. So spot price is 25. The spot price of share X is 25 and exercise price is 10. So 25 divided by 10 plus risk-free rate was 10%. 0.5 as it is the fixed value in the formula, multiplied by sigma square raised to the power of 2, that means times T. Now if you solve this, ln 25 divided by 10, you get 2.5. So I'll be reading ln for 2.5. So that turns out to be 0.9163. I have rounded off the values to fourth decimal place. Then that is the solution for yellow part. So this part solution, you can see, is 0.961. Then red part, we solve it out. .6 raised to the power of 2 multiplied by 0.5, and to that we add 0.10. So we get 0.10 plus 0.18, that will be 0.28, and 0.5 remains as it is. So that is one. Then we will solve the green part. Green part values I have put out. We can solve it subsequently also. So if we take the solution of green part solution is 0.4243. How it comes? Root 0.5, that is T value is 0.5 times 0.6. You get 0.42426 rounded off to fourth decimal place. Now we take the values. It will be 0.28 times 0.5 plus 0.9163 divided by 0.4243. We get it 2.4895. Now if you are using some online utility to calculate area under normal curve, you can let it be 2.4895. If you are reading the table, you will be reading it for the two decimal places. So that will be equal to 2.49. We will be reading in the table. Now once we have D1, second step is there, calculate D2. D2 is simple. D2 equals to D1 minus sigma RT. So we calculate second step of the BS model, D2. So we had the answer for D1, it is 2.4895, and from there we deduct 2.4895 minus 0.4243, we get 2.0652, or it will be rounded off to 2.7. So that we'll be using subsequently. It means N 2.49. That means we have to read area under cumulative normal distribution function for 2.9 value. That will be ND1. And similarly for D2, it will be area under normal curve for 2.07. That will be ND2. Now let me show you how to read that table. Note down the values. We have to read ND1 for 2.49 and 2.07. 2.49 and 2.07. Let me also note down, because I'll be changing the screen now. That is my table 4. You can, I hope you can see that. Area for normal curve, area under normal curve. We have to locate for 2.49. So let me bring it here. You can see it comfortably. Let me do it like this so that at one glance we have it 2.49. Here is the 2.4 and here is the 2.49. And just highlight that, highlighted with yellow. 2.49 is 0.99361. So you can note down this value 0.99361, that is ND1, and 2.07. So 2.07 will be at this place. So for 2.07 we have taken the value. For 2.07 value is 0.98077, and for 2.49 it is 0.99361. I hope you could read this table comfortably. Now how to identify the table, whether it is for the area under normal curve, for cumulative distribution, or for one tail. As you see in the table, all the values are either 0.5 or more than that. It means this is the table for two tail values or cumulative distribution function. If values are below 0.5, that is single tail values. Now converting the single tail value to the cumulative value is simple. Whatever single tail value is there, to that you add up 0.5. So let us say if you are referring to single tail table for 2.49, the corresponding value you will get 0.49361. To that, if you add 0.5, you will get 0.99361. Similarly, for the another value, that is D2, if it is area under normal curve for single tail, the corresponding value will be 0.48077. And to that, if you add 0.5, it will get converted into cumulative area 0.98077. I hope you could learn how to read the table for area under normal curve. Now let us go back to our main slide showing the solution. So we have these values. Now you might be surprised there's a little bit difference. I use the Excel utility to calculate these values. So minor difference will be there if you use any other utility, online utility, Excel utility or something like that. Then we take the formula for finding out premium of call option. Let me pick the formula for you from my previous slide. This is the formula we have to use. Here we go. Now, by plugging in values calculated above, we get it. C0, premium of call option. Now, what we have to plug in? S0, it was 25. ND1, 0.9936 minus. So for the convenience to understand the mathematical sequence, I am going to put that into separate bracket. E, exercise price, multiplied by exponent function raised to the power of negative RT. So your R is 0.10 and T is 0.5. So raised to the power of that and further multiplied by ND2. So let us solve it out. 25 times 0.9936 gets you 24.84. I'm at this point. You can see that. Green part. Then next part. First, calculate the value of exponent function. So E raised to the power of negative RT. You will get 0.9512. That is practically discounting. Whenever E is raised to the power of negative, that is discounting. If it is raised to the power of positive, it is compounding. I hope you are comfortable. So that's the second part, we have done it. This will be multiplied with the exercise price. And then further it will be multiplied with D2. So we get 24.84 we already had. Now we can get it 10 times 0.9512 times 0.9808, we get it 9.33. And finally, we get it 24.84 minus 9.33, that is 15.51. So that is the premium of call option. So this is how we calculate the premium of call option using BS model. Let me give a quick recap. We were given spot price of the share 25, exercise price of the call option rupees 10, term to expiry 6 months, risk-free rate 10%, volatility, that is standard deviation 60%. We first calculated D1 using this formula, and value of D1 came out to 2.4895, rounded off to second decimal place 2.49. I hope you could understand this very well and comfortably. Once we have calculated D1, we proceed further with the calculation of D2. That is very simple. D1 minus sigma root T, you get D2 value 2.07. Now what to do with D1 and D2? This and D1 and D2 you have to find out. D1 is 2.49, D2 is 2.07. We refer to the area under normal curve table. Corresponding values were 0.9936 and 0.9808. So that is the value for ND1 and ND2. Then we apply the formula for calculating premium of call option. C0 is equal to this value. By plugging in the values, and we calculate premium of call option 15.51. So note down the premium of call option is 15.51. Now make a quick look how this premium can be converted into premium of put option by using the put call parity. The put call parity formula is given just in front of you, highlighted with 0. So what is the notion in this formula? P0 is the premium of put, C0 is the premium of call, S0 is the spot price, E is the exercise price, and then the function E raised to the power of negative RT. So we get call premium, we have already calculated 15.51, spot was 25, E was 10, and E negative RT we have already solved it out in the previous case. So if we calculate this, it will be 10 times 0.9512 plus 15.51 minus 25. You get 0.022, that is 2 paisa. So that is the answer for this. So this is the way premium of call option and put option is calculated using BS model. Now let me tell you one more interesting thing. As I had promised you, we can use the online utility to check our answer, whether our answer is correct or not. Because when you are at home under lockdown situation, you are away from your teachers, although teachers are helping you out through online classes, but still at any moment you can use that utility. So let me quickly take you to that particular utility. Fundamentals or facts you are noted down. Our spot price was 25, exercise price 10, risk-free rate 10%, and time till expiry half year, that is 0.5, and volatility 60%. Let me take you to that particular utility. Friends, this is the utility. Can you see that? It is goodcalculators.com BS calculator. Now, if we feed the values, our spot price 25, I'll feed 25 over there. Let me first erase all the values. Rather, I can't erase this. Okay, they are allowed me. That's great. So let me put the values. Spot price 25, strike price 10, time half year, volatility 60%, in percentage you have to put it, risk-free rate in percentage you have to put it, and dividend as we have assumed 0. Although as I told you, we can liberate that condition also. Once you have put all the parameters, spot price, strike price, time till expiration, volatility, risk-free interest rate, and D, zero you have to put right now. We can calculate the premium and you can verify. 15.51, we also got the answer, and here also the answer is 0.03. Rounding off error is there, that's all. So we can do it. So that is the way you can verify your answer. While sitting at home, easily you can calculate it. I hope you liked this and you could understand the fundamental. Let me wrap up this class. I'll come out with another class with similar kind of interesting facts. Stay at home, stay safe. Thank you. Thanks for giving me your time. Stay blessed.